Hi, my name's Keith and I'm known as the Florida Stoneman, and today I'm going to be talking to you all about how to withstand demonic and spiritual attack. And this video was more so in the regards of demons, but this was going to relate to spirits too, because sometimes you guys, most of the time you can't guys tell demons and demonic entities apart. The thing is, you're not probably up there, and unless you're someone in the industry or something like that, then you're probably not dealing with the medium level ones. So you don't have to worry about that because that's who they usually look at. They don't care about people unless they're in groups. So it's mainly lower level demons and spirits. And sometimes lower level demons they normally look at generally gifted people. So if you're a generally gifted person, you might have the attention of some of them, but how you can recognize and withstand attacks. This video is going to help a lot of people, and it's a lot more simple than you think. They wait for your guard to be down. Both demonic entities and spirits. What's the difference between a spirit and a demonic entity, which I've taught in past videos, and I'll continue to teach in future videos, but a spirit is something that used to be a human, most likely. Most of the time it's a general spirit. An earthbound spirit is something that was a human. Now, if it's an earthbound spirit, it could be because I don't want to confuse you guys. There's spirits from other planets. There's spirits. Let's keep it simple. There's spirits, earthbound. We're gonna call them earthbounds, and there are demonic entities, aka fallen angels, things that used to be angels, and now somehow they got kicked out. They're no longer able to do their job or allowed to do their job, and now they're looking for humans for energy because their ley line isn't the heavens for energy. They're not on that power cord anymore. So, what's the first sign that you're being spiritually attacked? And sometimes no one has to send a demon for it to attack you. No one has to send an actual spirit for it to attack you, because we live on a planet where these things, they don't have energy, so they're looking for energy. Sometimes to attack you brings them energy, unfortunately. That's what happens when you get cut off in the ley line of heaven, is, humans are your energy source. So you gotta just plug into a different form of energy, which is humans. So what's the first sign of a spiritual attack? From a lower level demon or a spirit? Because some spirits can be trickier than others. That's why they have trickster spirits. Some spirits are just flat out dumb, and they rely on people to be dumb. But what do I mean by dumb? When I say dumb, I more so mean prideful, egotistical, just full of themselves to the point where they're just getting fooled. Like, you're a god, right? Like, you're your own god. There's the god above you is inside of you right now. And the people will be like, bars. Or like, just, no, it's not bars. I seen a meme online where that applied, but not bars. The thing is, when that happens, it's like you're like, okay, what's your intention? Why are you saying that? You're trying to boost my ego to get me away from my guides, get me away from my protections, etc. But when something starts presenting itself towards you, and there is various forms of demonic attack, etc. It can come from many different angles. It doesn't really matter. Demonic or spiritual attack. We're talking about more advanced spirits, not just like the simple spirits, like those kind of spirits. Like they're just like they literally look like that. If you see them in the spiritual realm for their actual form, they look kind of shattered and broken. They kind of look like they're just like, you'll see their. I mean, you won't see their faces. How about that? But when you actually peel down the mirror dimensions and you look at them, it's like, that's what you really are. Okay, that makes sense. But it doesn't matter what they look like, because in the end of the day, you can get rid of them regardless. I teach you guys some really cool methods on how you can permanently entangle them in the spirit realm with Spanish moss. Yeah, you can just fully bind one, so you can make its existence very painful for them to even try to be able to attack you. So why is it beneficial for a spirit to feel pain? So they don't attack you, okay? It's kind of like a trap. It's like, hey, there's barbed wires, but if you grab my fence, the barb will go into your hand. So you shouldn't do that. But the barbed wire is more so around them, so they can't really do much until the end of the days. But anyway, the first sign that being spiritually attacked This could be by a, because we're going to put these two into one because they're pretty much in the same category. Lower level demons that don't have any kind of, that are just kind of floating around, wandering around, etc. Doesn't really matter. So one way you know is that you're feeling angry. Anger. It could be for any reason. Anger, just flat out anger. And this is the tough part. You could flat out be right about something. You could just flat out be right. You could be 100% right. You could just be like 100 billion% right about something. But instead of for the pathways of you channeling it into something productive, it kind of got to you. So a common trend among these symptoms is that things are looking for an in. So things are looking to get in, because once they are in, then they can begin. I'm making this nice and simple, guys. Why do you think people come home from clubs or bars, etc., with spiritual attachment? Because those things couldn't get energy unless they got in. They couldn't access the sink to your house until they walked through the front doors. They couldn't access your thoughts until your guard dropped. They couldn't do certain things until they got in. That's the main goal. And you have to just pretend to be. Don't pretend to be. Pretend, like, just get in the mind of. And once you're in the mind, like, just flat out in the mind of some of these beings. So, a smart trickster spirit. Smart tricksters. Not even tricksters are really that smart. Otherwise, they wouldn't be trickster spirits. They'd be ascended ancestors or doing something else in the afterlife. Just besides trying to get energy from people, they'd be up here. There's no such thing as a really. I mean, they think they're smart. They're not smart. There's nothing smart about them. You can break them apart. You can rip them apart. You can send them in different places in the spiritual world. You can just banish them with tourmaline, which you can get at floridastone.com. Yeah, it sounds cool, etc., but you're just taking care of them. You don't have to put up with them. Like, if you're trying to have a good day with your family, they shouldn't be just a part of it, you know? Don't be nice to things that are not nice. If there's a thorn in your foot, don't be like, well, that's a part of nature. Rip it out and throw it away. Break the thorn apart and burn it, okay? So the thorn can't cause anyone harm again. So the first thing is anger. So you could be 100% right about something, but you flat out get angry. Like, you're just like, you're getting angry, but it's not helping anyone. It's kind of eating you. It's consuming you. That's one of the main ways. It could be any kind of anger. So, like I said, you could be right. You could be... Another case scenario is you really think you're right about something, but you're not in the 100% clearest of mind states. So, and that could not be your fault either. It doesn't have to be your fault. We're not talking about faults, because humans are bound to mess up. Adam and Eve. First humans ever. They messed up. They flat out just messed up. That's the first thing they did, is mess up. The first major thing they did is some of their major accomplishments were messing up. Now, when it comes to anger, they're going to try to get you angry because look at the vibration chart online, because online has a vibration chart. Anger is one of the lowest ones. They get in because you're angry, and they get to do more things. Now you're breaking stuff, now you're dropping stuff, now you're sending stuff, now you're yelling at people. Your karma's coming at you, which, if you're asking God to be... This is why you're supposed to pray every single morning before you leave your house. Because if you're doing this, ask God to help direct you to know what you're doing it, and so that He helps you stop doing it so you can catch yourself in the act so there's no karma for it. Now, there's corrective crystals, but then you also have to, even with the crystals working, you have to recognize it, because you're not like, okay, everything's not in my favor today versus everything's in your favor, but you're just being attacked. Like, it happens to all of us. There's no 100% getting away from it, although when you get to a higher level, you become a much, much stronger when any kind of demon attacks you. It's like, oh, it tried. But if you're a person of God, they can't get through. If you're not a person of God, their attacks are going to get through. Now, because I do have to emphasize, I have to add a high emphasis, a very high emphasis to that, because if you're not a person of God, they can just have access, okay? Like I said, I made many videos about that. So Watch those videos if you want a more detailed explanation. Yay for having so many videos on YouTube, because now I can point you to one aspect of a topic, because I can keep these videos in a certain time frame. Now, the next thing of a demon, or a lower level demon, let's just call it a fallen angel, a lower level fallen angel, because demons seem scary to people, but if you actually know what they are, it's like they're not scary, but what they're going to face is scary. When it comes to Judgment Day, it's going to be very scary for them. They know it's coming, so they're doing what they can now. It's kind of like the teacher's not in the classroom, and the kids are going crazy in the classroom, and it's fun, and it's mischievous, and the teacher's been gone. But when the teacher shows back up in the classroom, then ruler. But if you're someone who has God right now, it's the teacher's assistant in the classroom. And you're going to feel that energy like, oh, you're going to get in trouble. Okay, good. So the teacher's there, but the teacher is not there at the same time, because we're on the earthly plane, so we're not ever 100% protected. The next feeling you might have is tiredness or fatigue. I might make a whole video on this alone, because you might have a sleep that's just flat out, you've got 8 hours of sleep, but you're feeling tired and drained. You're just not feeling good during the sleep. Well, if you've had a perfect sleep, but it's not perfect, make sure you check your diet and everything like that. So, no sugar, good. If you're drinking lots of water, good. You're making sure you detoxing, etc. Everything is good, and you're having strange sleeps. Well, these things attack the crown chakra. You'll have spiritual headaches, which I can't talk about too much, because it's certain guidelines that I'm always following, and to be put ahead on the algorithm to be able to make it to more people. So I won't go into it, but you guys know what I'm saying. Spiritual headaches. Now, the thing about this is the crown chakra, we're not chickens. So if our head's cut off, what's going to happen? We're not going to live anymore. If the arm's cut off, it will be fine. Well, most of the time, we'll be fine. We can survive without an arm, or 2 arms, or legs. But the head's gone, there's no more person. So they attack the head because the head controls the body. And once the head's foggy, everything else is foggy. And now you're attracting certain situations just by being tired or lethargic or just moody. So that's how they do it as well. So it's overstimulation. It's just flat out being angry. And they count on you losing control. So other ways, the third way is emphasizing things, which kind of goes with the first 2 ways. I'm not going to break this up into too many methods. I would just like you guys to get the general trend so you can identify it. So if you're not feeling yourself some days, most of the time you might be getting attacked, but you don't realize it, just because, like, let's just say you went to some kind of office and you sat down, but the last person who sat down there had strong attachments. Now, the next day you have, because you weren't wearing tourmaline, especially from FloridaStoneman.com, is nuts. You better believe these entities are lurking. That's why you're supposed to wear crystal jewelry such as black tourmaline. And even when you wear it, it doesn't make you 100% it doesn't 100,000% make you covered. I'll talk about that in a future video, because I've seen that with people. It's people will wear black tourmaline and they'll jump in front of something that's dangerous. Let's just say that. And they think they're immortal. These crystals don't make you immortal. They just increase the chance that you're going to be more protected against certain things. So God comes first. Use the crystals to protect yourself from this. And what crystals can you use to protect yourself from demons, specifically lower level angels? Or lower level fallen angels, who we're talking about, because the medium levels really don't care unless unless it follows a certain set of rules. The trickster spirits, they are looking for energy and attention. So what do you do under spiritual attack? Keep your composure, stay inside, try not to talk to too many people, stay cool, sleep, make sure your schedule is right, get organized. Like I said, stay at home, preserve your energy, pull your energy back in, write stuff down, because it'll help organize you, because when you're foggy, everything else is crazy. So once everything's crazy, like I said, you're attracting certain things. Maintain your composure, recognize that it's okay. One thing people do under spiritual attack is they'll flip out. Very, very bad idea. They'll flip out. And why do I make those faces? It's because when people flip out, it's just like, so if what you are facing right now was a 4, now it's a 9 because you flipped out. Yay, no, not yay, don't flip out. Just know that everything's okay, it'll pass. Another thing that you'll have, this is really obvious, bad thoughts. You'll have, sometimes your guidance can let you know, I just remember that. If you would like to know if something's trying to get into your head, play that song by Rihanna. I think it's called like, wah, 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 wah. I can't say the lyrics, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Wah, 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 wah. You know, so or just have another song that you can attach to wild thoughts, because these entities will try to put wild thoughts in your head to get you knocked off guard, because once your head's gone and once you don't feel like yourself, you're feeling guilty, you're feeling unhappy, you're feeling drained, you're feeling vulnerable, you're feeling violated, you're feeling all these different feelings just because an entity has this much of an in to slide through some wild thoughts. And that's how they do it. Like tricks or spirits, if you go out in public and you're not wearing tourmaline, then you can be, and this happened to me in college, because I left, back then I would leave my crystals home here and there, because I didn't know you had to wear them all the time for them to protect you like that. But I was behind a woman in line, and I just had some of the craziest thoughts pop into my head, and I'm just like, and I was kind of strange in college, if you could believe that. I would put crystals and hieroglyphs around my exams, and I'd always get yelled at, like, why are you putting that stuff around? They'd say, why are you putting that, I'll say the word because it's not a swear, why are you putting that crap around the exam? And I'm like, it's helping me pass, and certain exams I never studied for would I'd pass miraculously. But that's a topic for a different video. But I asked the woman, I'm like, hey, do you have some crazy thoughts? And imagine someone in line just be like, hey, do you ever get crazy thoughts? And she just turned around and she looked like she wanted to start crying. She's like, how'd you know? And I'm like, oh, because I'm having crazy thoughts right now. And I just got in line, like I'm having a good day. And like these wild, I pop it in my head. And I'm just like, you're the only person, like you're the only person in front of me. And I just looked at I looked at the back of her head, which actually is how spirits attach to people, which could have been hand in hand. But the thing was trying to attach herself to me because I was behind her in line without tourmaline. Like, imagine how many people are just spreading attachments just by walking around in public. Especially if you live in a major city. You better believe it. If you ever pay attention, major cities will suffer with each other. Coming from someone, if you know someone who's crazy in Miami and they're like this, person's bouncing around, now this person's bouncing around, now this person's bouncing around. It's like, I can't use any specific examples, but it's like when a vampire bites another vampire, and it bites another vampire, and they all become vampires, or a werewolf bites another werewolf, and now they're all becoming werewolves, same thing. So the point is, you can use some crystals to counter this. Just recognize that it's not your own thoughts. Everything will be okay. Wait a few days to a week, and it will completely subside. Most importantly, move yourself closer to God and wear the crystals that He has supplied for us on the planet. Black tourmaline is number 1. Black tourmaline is king. It is number 1. Black tourmaline is number 1. You can wear bloodstone. You can wear Mexican fire agate if you think someone sent them, which a lot of times when people go to send negative entities and you send them back, those entities never leave them alone. They're stuck with the entities that they've conjured up, especially because some of them are freeing those entities from confinement. And those entities have nowhere to go but to stay with the people who have called upon them. And those entities will ruin their lives. So this video, I hope it helped you guys. I'll make more videos because this one's going to get pretty long if I keep going. But if you have any questions, ask them in the comment section. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. Ciao!